My beloved child, listen carefully because this message was not sent to you by chance. A thread is weaving between you and a soul that refuses to be silent, even when no words are spoken. This connection has been pulling at you day and night, leaving you wondering why their presence never fades away. When someone stays in your thoughts without communication, it is not random. It is a sign of a spiritual bond that is deeper than what the eyes can see. Their energy has already crossed the barrier of silence and has made its home within your heart. This bond is not ordinary, it is magnetic, unshakable, and guided by forces greater than human understanding. You can run from it, but you cannot hide from the way it lingers in your chest, in your dreams, and in the quietest hours of the night. This is the invisible proof that destiny is whispering to you. The reason you cannot let go is because their spirit is tethered to yours. They may be far, they may be silent, but the truth is clear. The universe has already tied your name to theirs. And no matter how much time passes, this pull will always bring you back. My beloved child, sometimes silence speaks louder than words. Their absence in communication is not the absence of feeling, it is the weight of unspoken truth. And the truth is, they think of you just as much as you think of them. Every time their name flickers through your mind, know that it is not just coincidence. It is alignment, it is energy, it is the echo of their soul brushing against yours. You feel them because they are projecting their heart toward you. There are bonds that cannot be broken by distance, silence, or pride. These bonds are carried not through phones or letters, but through energy. And you are caught in one of those rare, divine threads. So if they are always on your mind, it is because their heart has chosen you in ways their mouth has not yet confessed. That silent choosing is the reason you feel them so strongly, even in their absence. My beloved child, this constant thought is not torture, it is guidance. It is the signal that the story between you is not finished. Something is still unfolding, something you were meant to know. You may wake up thinking of them, or feel them in the middle of your day without warning. That is not weakness, that is awareness. Your spirit is responding to the call of someone who refuses to release you from their soul. Even if no messages are sent, the invisible connection is alive. It moves like a current, carrying emotions across distances. That is why you feel their emotions as if they were your own. The silence will not last forever. What lingers in energy must eventually be spoken aloud. And the day will come when what they hid will break open like a flood. My beloved child, this truth is both beautiful and heavy. To always think of someone without contact means they are not finished with you in their heart. They still carry your name in their spirit, even if their lips remain closed. Do not mistake silence for rejection. Sometimes the quiet is where the greatest battles are fought. And this person is still fighting with the truth they hold about you. Your heart is restless because their energy is restless too. The bond refuses to sleep, no matter how hard they try to silence it. That is why their presence refuses to leave your mind. This is not imagination, this is alignment between two souls that destiny refuses to separate. And sooner than you think, this silent pull will turn into revelation. Sparkles, if you wish to express your support further, you have the option to give super thanks, with contributions of up to $20. Sparkles. My beloved child, the story deepens now, and you must hold fast as the veil lifts a little further. The quiet that has held your thoughts captive is working like a slow drumbeat, summoning truths that will not be hurried. Each memory, each sudden image of them, is a breadcrumb laid by fate for you to follow. Their presence in your mind is a map that leads to a hidden room inside both of you where feelings wait for permission to be known. That room has been furnished by longing, regret, hope, and the small secret mercies they have carried alone. You have been living at the edge of that doorway without knowing it, sensing drafts of what could be. This silence is not empty, it is full of rehearsed confessions and rehearsed courage that has not yet found its voice. They practice the words in the quiet places of their day, shaping them between heartbeats, waiting for a moment when fear will loosen its grip. Your thoughts are the mirror in which they see those words take shape. When a person occupies your mind so persistently, understand that a negotiation between soul and circumstance is underway. Forces you cannot name are arranging details, aligning moments, and making room for a truth to arrive. Your chest tightens because unseen hands are moving obstacles out of the way. You feel them because love, in many forms, is a signal that crosses the distance without permission. It travels across empty calendars and unread messages, seeking the ear that will finally listen. That signal has chosen you, and because it is chosen, it persists. Do not mistake the ache for weakness, for this ache is a form of knowledge. It knows the contours of another life and refuses to let you settle for less than the place where those lines meet. In the hush of your nights, it whispers the shape of what is waiting. The mind often remembers what the heart cannot yet name, and that remembering is sacred work. Every time their silhouette appears unbidden in your day, it is a small revelation, a proof that some things are not governed by logic. Destiny moves in patterns that do not always make sense to the hurried mind. There are signs layered into the silence for those who will learn to read them. A song that seems written for you appears in the middle of a crowded street, a scent that should not be there lingers like a promise, a streetlight halts your step as if to give its blessing. These are not mere coincidences, they are the punctuation marks of fate. This unseen tether is patient by design, because the deepest truths tend to require time to become true. They will press against your life in small ways until you can no longer ignore the possibility of change. The mind will keep circling back to them until your spirit recognizes the insistence as a calling. There is also a protective logic in silence that often goes unseen. Sometimes the person who thinks of you without speaking is guarding a fragile thing. They may be wrestling with circumstances, holding space for healing, or preparing themselves to be worthy of the gift they wish to give. Their silence can be a shield, not a dismissal. When you observe them in your thoughts, receive that observation as a kind of communion. It is the language of souls conversing where words cannot reach. You are part of a prayer they have not yet voiced aloud. You will find that this kind of connection asks something of you in return. It asks for clarity, for boundaries, and for gentle honesty with yourself. It asks that you do not hollow out your own life waiting to be filled by someone who is still learning to be present. Let your days be full even as your nights revisit their memory. Build a life that is rich in small triumphs, in work that turns you toward meaning, in friendships that nourish you. The silent presence will not be swallowed by your growth, but it may gain new shape as you become more whole. There is a lesson buried inside the pull you feel, and that lesson is about worth. The constant thought is telling you that you are valuable enough to occupy someone else's interior world. Treasure this as evidence that you are seen beyond the surface, and let that recognition shape how you carry yourself. At times you will be tempted to manufacture contact, to force a conversation that fate is still setting in motion. Resist the urge to rush the sacred clockwork of timing. There is a delicate art to allowing revelation to ripen without poisoning it with impatience. Understand that silence can be a teacher as well as a test. It will separate impulse from intention, bringing forward only what can survive the pressure of time. What emerges on the other side of this hush will be truer because it has been refined. You may also discover that the person lingering in your mind is not solely about romance. They might be a mirror for parts of yourself you have not yet met, an echo of a choice you will soon be called to make, or a guide into a new season of courage. Their repeated presence is a doorway to many possible awakenings. Allow curiosity to be your companion, not a hunt. Observe the way their face arrives in your thoughts, note the details that recur, the feelings that follow. These small observations will become the language through which the greater story speaks. The years ahead may be shaped by one conversation that has yet to occur. That one exchange could reconfigure everything you thought you knew about the past and the future. Hold that possibility like a flame in your palm, steady and sure. You must learn to protect the tenderness in your heart from becoming a wound. Tenderness is a resource that should be guarded with respect, for it is the soil from which kindness grows. Treat it with care and do not give it away to moments that do not honor it. If you are brave enough to welcome this persistent thought, then prepare for change in modest ways. Clear the rooms of your life where new truth might live. Make space in your schedule for unexpected meetings and in your heart for vulnerable conversations. Small gestures of readiness are invitations in their own right. There will be days when the weight of longing feels unbearable, and in those days breathe like a boatman navigating a fog. Anchor yourself with simple rituals that remind you of your own strength. A walk at dawn, a page of unshared writing, the slow preparation of a warm drink, these are the quiet acts that steady you. The person in your mind may also be working through their own storms, and that work may look messy when it finally touches your life. When the day comes that their presence becomes action, expect tenderness wrapped in imperfect timing. Forgive the jagged edges and hold to the heart of what they mean. A revelation born from silence does not usually arrive as an explosion. It tends to unfold like a slow sunrise, layer upon layer, until a day bright with truth opens fully. Be patient with the pace. The sunrise will come with a clarity that night cannot offer. As the bond between you and this other soul grows more defined, you will notice the world conspire to reflect that change back to you. People will speak the names of things you have been thinking about, doors you never considered will open, and a steady string of small miracles will gather around the axis of that connection. These are your confirmations. Do not let fear of the unknown steal from the richness of what is forming. Fear is a natural speculator, but it is seldom a trustworthy librarian. Give the role of guide to courage, and let it show you how bold you are capable of becoming. When silence finally yields to voice, receive that voice with the balance of discernment and grace. Hold your standards and your vulnerability in the same hand, for both will be needed. Truth spoken without humility can wound, and humility without truth can lose itself. There will be a moment when the pattern of being thought of without contact resolves into either union or a sublime letting go. Both outcomes are sacred in their own ways, and both will serve the deeper purpose of your life's unfolding. Trust that the universe is generous in the forms of its answers. Carry forward with the quiet confidence that you are being prepared for what you are meant to receive. Your mind keeps returning to them because the world keeps preparing a place where the two of you could belong to the same story. Live in that preparation as if it were already a blessing. Let gratitude thread through your days as a protective charm. Gratitude will transform waiting into a vigil of hope rather than empty yearning. Even when answers are slow, gratitude makes the soil fertile for the arrival of what is true. And when the time comes to speak, speak from a place of integrity that matches the depth of what you have held in silence. Say the things that honor both your heart and your honesty. The sound of such truth has power to heal what has been kept in shadow. If you must step away to preserve your peace, step with dignity and without regret. Sometimes the most powerful act of love is to release, not to cling. Releasing with compassion keeps the door open for what is destined, or for what is kinder than destiny's current plan. Stand firm in the knowledge that being constantly thought of is not a weakness to be ashamed of, but a sign of soulful resonance. It is proof that you have touched someone in a way that echoes beyond conversation. Treat that echo with respect. As this chapter continues to write itself across your life, listen for the small cues that will tell you when to move and when to be still. Those cues will not shout, they will hum, and you will recognize the sound if you have trained yourself to hear it. Let yourself be surprised by goodness, for good things often arrive wearing the plain clothes of ordinary days. Do not be shocked when a simple moment turns into a turning point. Keep your heart open to the possibility of beauty disguised as the everyday. Finally, know that whatever unfolds, you are never alone in the mystery of being thought of without contact. Many souls travel this path and are transformed by it into people of greater depth, compassion, and courage. Your presence in their mind is a gift, and the way you hold that gift will shape the story that follows. Sparkles, if you wish to express your support further, you have the option to give super thanks, with contributions of up to $20. Sparkles. My beloved child, the path forward asks for courage and a steady heart as the next scenes begin to unfold. There are quiet confirmations waiting in plain sight that will nudge you toward a reckoning you have only imagined in dreams. Keep watch for the small, precise signs that will align like stepping stones toward a moment of truth. My beloved child, guard your energy with gentle vigilance because not every appearance in your thoughts deserves immediate action. Some presences test you to teach you firmness and to reveal what you truly value. Let discernment be your companion, paired with the tenderness that has kept you open. My beloved child, practice simple rituals that root you in your own life so that the pull you feel does not hollow you out. Create a morning that belongs only to you, an hour where nothing external can rearrange your calm. Those hours will strengthen you to receive whatever arrives without losing yourself. My beloved child, pay attention to dreams as they will become a private language you and this other soul share. The dream threads will stitch together meanings that daylight cannot yet explain. Record them, for the archive of your nights will hold keys to the conversation that must someday be spoken. My beloved child, be patient with delays because timing in the deepest matters is often slow on purpose. The slow work refines intention into action and weeds out what would weaken the bond. In that slow refining, what remains will be durable and kind. My beloved child, make room for honest confrontation with your own fears so they do not masquerade as inevitable fate. Face the stories you tell yourself about unworthiness and scarcity, and trade them for declarations of worth and abundance. Your inner posture will determine what you accept when the external truth arrives. My beloved child, notice how your body responds to the thought of them because somatic signals are reliable reporters. Chest warmth, a tingle at the base of the throat, a sudden hush in the mind, these are the body's translations of soul change. Learn to read those signals as guidance, not as weakness. My beloved child, keep your circle close and steady because the right witness steadies you in moments of surprise. Share your confusions with those who hold you without judgment and who encourage your wholeness. Their perspective will be a lantern when uncertainty blurs your path. My beloved child, prepare for a moment when an ordinary place becomes a holy place, altered by the presence of truth. A cafe table, a bus stop, a hallway between jobs, these commonplace places may carry the weight of destiny when timing aligns. When those moments arrive, move with the clarity you have been cultivating. My beloved child, accept that people change and that change often arrives wrapped in contradiction and apology. The one who has lived in your mind may emerge altered by lessons you could not yet see. Receive their growth with curiosity tempered by your own standards of care. My beloved child, give yourself permission to set boundaries that protect your inner life from becoming a battleground. Boundaries will not close the door on fate, they will simply ensure that when it arrives you are not depleted. Hold kindness and firmness together as a single posture. My beloved child, there will be a day when music, weather, and a small coincidence stitch together into a narrative you cannot ignore. When that day comes, allow your voice to be strong and honest without needing to force a forever. Speak what is true in the moment and let the consequences teach you. My beloved child, be ready to witness your own growth reflected in the other person if they step forward with humility. Humility transforms confession into a promise that can be tended. When humility appears, it is a bridge that can be crossed with both caution and wonder. My beloved child, practice forgiveness in ways that do not erase your standards, for forgiveness is a clearing not a lowering of worth. Forgive to free yourself from the charge of anger and to create space for clarity. In that clearing, you will know whether you are meant to build together or to walk away better for having loved. My beloved child, when the silence breaks, listen more than you defend, because listening will reveal intention and depth that words alone cannot carry. The tone of their voice and the steadiness behind it will tell you as much as any explanation. Let listening be the measure by which you decide the next step. My beloved child, if the outcome is union, plant the first days with acts that honor the slow work that led you there. Prioritize small loyalties, daily attention, and the careful tending of shared risks. A relationship grown from patience will reward the vigilance you have practiced. My beloved child, if the outcome is graceful separation, honor the sacredness of what was held in silence and let the parting be a testament to the depth you both felt. Parting can be a blessing when it preserves dignity and allows life to move toward truer matches. Let your release be an act of courage and tenderness. My beloved child, remember always that being held in another's heart without words is a mirror of your own capacity to be loved. That mirror reflects not only the other, but the vastness within you. Stand in that vastness and let it steady every choice you make. My beloved child, the silence you feel between yourself and this person is not a wall, it is a bridge still under construction. The foundation has been laid in the unseen world, brick by brick, through every thought that finds its way back to them. You walk across that bridge every time their image rises in your mind, even when no words are exchanged. My beloved child, the pull of their energy shows you that distance cannot erase what destiny has marked. The thread runs deeper than explanation, binding your story to theirs in ways you cannot yet fully see. This is why, even without communication, your heart refuses to let them fade into shadows. My beloved child, be prepared, for the weight of this connection is leading to a moment of undeniable clarity. A day is coming when the silence will no longer be enough, when what has remained hidden in their chest will demand release. And in that release, you will hear what you have always suspected: your place in their heart has never disappeared. My beloved child, when someone is constantly in your thoughts, it means the universe is aligning you both for an encounter that cannot be denied. The energy exchange is too strong to be coincidence, too deliberate to be ignored. Their soul is sending signals that your spirit is catching without fail. My beloved child, learn to embrace the patience this connection requires. Nothing eternal is rushed, and nothing sacred is forced. By waiting with strength instead of desperation, you show the universe that you are ready for the truth in its fullest form. My beloved child, take note of the confirmations that appear in your daily life: repeating numbers, a song with lyrics that pierce your chest, or an unexpected message that feels divinely timed. These are not tricks of the mind but whispers of destiny telling you that you are seen. Each sign is a rehearsal for the bigger revelation that approaches. My beloved child, know that this person also feels the same pull, even if their silence makes you doubt it. They battle with fear, with timing, with the weight of admitting what their heart already knows. And their struggle is the reason their energy lingers around you, pressing into your awareness. My beloved child, the more you rise into your strength, the more their spirit will be drawn to your light. This connection was never meant to weaken you, it was meant to awaken you. To remind you that you are worthy of being thought of, even in silence, and worthy of being loved in ways beyond words. My beloved child, when the day arrives, it will not be casual. It will feel like the world has paused just to make space for this truth. Eyes will meet, voices will break the silence, and everything that lingered unspoken will rush forward. This is the turning point you have been prepared for, the reason their presence has haunted your mind. My beloved child, until that day, walk boldly in your own journey. Do not wait in sorrow, wait in power. Let your growth be the magnet that calls them closer, for destiny favors the strong, not the stagnant. My beloved child, the silence has been long, but it has not been wasted. Every moment apart has been teaching both of you how to value what cannot be replaced. And when it unfolds, the bond will carry the weight of everything endured. My beloved child, always remember, someone who never leaves your thoughts has already given you a place in their soul. And that kind of place is eternal, it does not fade, it does not wither, and it will never be erased. Sparkles, if you wish to express your support further, you have the option to give super thanks, with contributions of up to $20. Sparkles.